Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, there are two kinds of happiness. One is a momentary happiness, and another one is the absolute happiness, the unchanging happiness. Now, momentary happiness is the happiness that comes from engaging with the world, by participating in the world. And this happiness is a choice. We choose something to be happy. And when we are mindful in our choosing, from that mindful effort, we make the connection. We see growth, we see stability, we see fun. And this makes us happy. However, this happiness comes and go. That's why it is called a momentary happiness. But somehow we are still engaging in this outward journey, aligning with the physical world, hoping to hit the target, which is the unchanging happiness. But this is just the illusion. The world itself is changing. Anything outside of you is always changing. When you're seeking the true happiness in the changing um, realm, is a failure to be truly happy. So that's the truth. And this is what's happening in people. They constantly put them out in the world to make themselves happy, thinking, again, the true happiness. And people are realizing now that seeking outside is never going to lead them to realize the true happiness because of the failure, because of the failure that the fear is never ending, the conflict is never ending, the emotional fluctuation is never ending. And because of the failure, there's an interest to be part of the inward journey. And that's great. If people are realizing and turning in, now that's a start. And some people are still lost in the outward journey to be happy. And again, no doubt, being part of the world, being part of the color, being part of the outer experience it, it's it's the it feels real, and the coloring, the physical experience makes the people to get addicted, and that's how the seeking never ends in the world. Again, unless the realization that this is never helping me to be free. And then person starts to reorient in the inward journey to figure out the true happiness. Now, the absolute happiness is the happiness that comes from experiencing the true nature of oneself, the unchanging truth. Only truth, seeing the truth, makes the fear to dissolve. Only seeing the truth makes the emotional fluctuation dissolve. Only seeing the truth makes the pain go away. And this truth is available for everybody. Everybody who is interested in the in the absolute happiness and do the work, mindful work of understanding the mind and dismantling the mind, the person can get to the truth. But the work has to be there. It's just not the effort, it's a mindful effort. This path is not just for the chosen one. That is a make believe. It is for everyone. Why? Because it's this truth is the true nature of oneself, and it's within every human being. And when it's already there, so it's for everybody. Just the work is needed. That's all. So the work is needed. Now, people are interested in true happiness, but somehow the true happiness, to recognize, to realize the true happiness is taking too long, isn't it? Taking too long. For some, it's already a lifetime. Why this is taking so long? And the simple answer to this question is not doing the work that we're supposed to do, which is dismantling the mind. Dismantling the mind is neglected in the spiritual journey. And because of that, humans are failing to see the truth. That means humans are failing to dissolve the fear. Fear is the sign that humans are failing in the spiritual journey. People get stagnated in the spiritual journey. People get stuck. Why people get stuck? Because there's so much distraction in the name of spirituality. And you know, if you have been part of a spiritual journey, you have changed the path, the practice so many times, isn't it? You are being part of certain practice for long enough, and then you realize that this is not helping me to dissolve the fear. Then you choose the other practice, you work on that, and then you realize that it's not working. And then it's just hopping from one practice to another practice. But that is still better compared to get stuck in sudden practice. At least going through a few practices makes you realize eventually that nothing is working. Nothing is working, and that realizes can make the person to finally come to the self-inquiry path. And that can be a life-changing path if the person realizes that nothing is working to give me true happiness. Now, to be free, to get to the true happiness, spiritual, right now the trending spiritual work is the meditation, isn't it? The quiet practice. And some are choosing to just sit quietly by themselves. just observing oneself. And that's good, that's a good start. However, in that watching oneself, or to just to be in the quiet space, there's so much control going on, isn't it? There's a physical control, the mental control to push the mind away. But pushing the mind away is welcoming the mind. When you resist the mind, you are welcoming the mind. Yeah, you can move from the chaotic mind to more simple mind, but still a mind. And true happiness is ending the mind. Even the simple mind must go away to see the truth of oneself, to see the true nature of oneself. And this is where people get stuck with, with that quiet practice. And lots of meditation practices comes with the baggage of techniques and meanings for that technique. And any technique we align with in the meditation, it's another layer, it's a mental layer. Again, same, any technique can make you feel stable in the body and make you move from the complexity of mind towards simplicity. Even just that technique with that mental focal point. And from this practice or quiet practice, it's helping you in the physical world. Now, focusing on that focal point for long enough, you're anchoring in that. You're prolonging your concentration. And when you go out in the world, you can prolong your concentration in the things that you're involved with. And with that, you see the shift. And then people do back and forth. Come to meditation, anchor, 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 go out. Come back, anchor, 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 and go out. And that is the routine right now. People don't even realize that technical meditation has already conditioned them to that layer, to the to that meditation practice. And people are just happy with that now. See, happy. And when you are happy with just that, you are stopping your journey towards the absolute happiness. And this is the reality right now in 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 this in the in people who are interested in the spirituality. Sitting down and applying the technique is a spiritual now. That is a materialistic spirituality. And when we are get distracted in that technical meditation, how can we end the fear in life? How to be free? How to experience a true happiness? It's impossible. That's a reality. It is impossible when you are attached to the technique. Getting addicted to that, which people are already. So, true happiness is for everybody. It's about realizing the true nature of oneself. And how to get there? That's the question. How to get there? How to get there is the self inquiry. Self inquiry is about watching oneself, observing oneself, and dismantling the mind. Dismantling the mind means examining one's own ingrained belief. Right now, everybody is ingrained with a certain belief. Certain belief is true in life. One of the ingrained belief is the belief of God, isn't it? God is true. Without having the actual experience of God, the idea of God is true in the spiritual sense. And in the physical sense, there are certain ideas so true, isn't it? Especially the ideas are true because you have seen a tremendous shift in your life from that belief. That's why, there's a certain belief ingrained in the person as a outer happiness. And the idea of a God is inner happiness. That's how the world is moving. Notice the ingrained belief is already there. Now, true freedom or true happiness is about investigating one's own ingrained belief. No doubt, everybody has a belief. Our whole life has been picking up the belief and making and anchoring in certain belief. The belief is there. When you ask yourself, what is that belief that I'm ingrained in? What is that belief that I'm so attached to? If you ask yourself, you see it, isn't it? You're not alone in having a belief. Every human being has a certain belief that they are anchored in that. Unless the person is again awakened to the truth, that's a different thing. But if the truth is missing, the belief is there. The belief is there because of the fear, again, fear of being nobody. Fear of being nobody makes you hold on to certain belief. Fear of losing makes you hold on to certain belief. So the belief is already there. So accept there's a belief. Now, examine the belief. Why am I holding this belief? The simple why am I holding this belief? The why can help you trace your belief backward to see why you're holding on to that belief. You can see the root cause of holding on to certain belief using just why. Why am I attached? Why am I ingrained in certain belief? Why? Whatever answer resurfaces, you don't reject that answer. Now use the answer using why again. Why is that important? And the same way, keep using why to go all the way back until no mind is left. And that's the way to be thorough of yourself, to be thorough of your mind, to understand the mind. Understanding the mind is important in the spiritual journey. If you don't understand the mind, you won't be able to let go of the mind. Why? Because right now the mind is a reality for you. So you must understand the mind to see its nature. Understanding makes you already not gripping onto that identification of the mind with the mind. So this is the crucial step of the spiritual journey. This is the part that is always neglected by spiritual seeker, by the person who are interested in spiritual freedom. And because of neglecting the dismantling work, reconstructing the mind work, people are failing, getting stuck in the spiritual journey. So if you see you're stuck in the spiritual journey, again, how do I see I'm stuck in the spiritual journey? Is this your fear? If you're not able to, if you're not able to be free from your fear, that means you're stuck. You're stuck in the spiritual journey. So incorporate examining yourself. The spiritual journey basically is freedom from the mind. Mind is a source of struggle. Mind is a source of fear right now, isn't it? Yes, after enlightenment, mind can be an ally, but right now, you see mind is fun and mind is also struggle. There's a dual perception on the mind. So, mind is the duality, and truth is not the mind. However, the mind, to get to the truth, we got to go through the mind to see the nature of the mind, to eventually let go of the mind. That's the journey. Again, happiness, momentary and absolute. Both is available for you. The only difference is momentary happiness doesn't dissolve the fear. Absolute happiness will dissolve the fear. So which one will you seek? And by the way, your whole life has been alignment with the momentary. And because of that, you're not there to realize your own true nature. So, what's the journey left is a journey towards true happiness, a journey towards the true nature. So, how to make that happen? Self-inquiry, self-inquiry, my friend. I hope this video makes sense to you, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care for now.